You were talking about Ben and I drinking white wine, Chris white wine on a summer evening, right? And that's because, like, I did suggest, we can do a Sunday record and have a beer and so on. Had a beer earlier and chewed it down.
Oh.
And I just want to ask the question straight up at the top. What's the science there? Why is it that some days you drink a beer and you go, oh, God, that was hard work. And other days it just slides down like it's not even there.
You're already 3 deep and you're like, hang on a second.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, maybe it's an age thing, but it isn't, is it? That's the way it's always been.
It's random in my experience.
It's a timing thing.
You reckon?
Well, may I ask, how much physical labour have you done today?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I've done a lot of cooking, so I tend to spend a fair chunk of Sunday cooking. I cook a big meal that I can chop in half and freeze half of for another night. And I tend to do a fair bit of baking to try and get through the week's recesses.
Oh, tell me about that. My wife's actually doing some baking right now.
Right. Well, my youngest son has Crohn's disease, which means that we give him as little processed food as possible, right? So it's a lot of fresh cooked stuff. So I do find myself doing a lot of cooking. So, I try and stock my freezer up with, like, I make cakes, slices, muffins, all that sort of stuff, and just try and freeze as many as I can. Because things like, muesli bars, etc., not so great for the Crohn's.
No. Not good for anyone, really.
No, but that's the thing. I was about to say, like, it's actually, I don't want to say it's good, but in a way it's good because it's made me realise just how shit some of that stuff really is.
Yeah.
Particularly like muesli bars. Oh, it's muesli, it's healthy, and it's just the worst. Packed full of chemicals and sugar and bullshit. So, anyway.
It has oats in it and then a whole heap of other things.
There goes our Uncle Toby sponsorship, that's for sure.
Anyway.
Says who? Maybe.
Oh, they're going to release the chemicals and bullshit box?
Yes, that's right. Yes. This is the chemicals and bullshit box.
Anyway, yes, I spent my most laborious thing today was cooking for quite a while. I made a chicken lasagna, which, to be honest, I made the sauce yesterday and let that flavour up overnight. I do organise myself around if I'm making anything, sauce-based, casserole-based, stew-based, whatever. If I can do it the day before, let it flavour up in the fridge overnight.
It's always better the next day.
Yeah. Now that's just dad thinking, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
That's good dad time management. So, yes, I did the sauce yesterday, constructed the lasagna today, made several different kinds of... I made a banana and caramel cake, and I made a fruit slice, right?
Jesus.
Let's put a pin in this, because I do want to, maybe when Chef Alice is here, Rich isn't with us tonight.
Yeah.
I'm interested in, like, what you feed your kids, particularly school stuff. Yeah. And how much that's changed over the years. I don't know if that's a topic anyone else is interested in, but I am. Yep. It'd just be wrong to try and do that without
Chef Alice.
Alice could tell us.
Yeah.
So yes, but anyway, cooking.
Yeah, but that was all around the fact that you had a beer and it didn't sit well.
Yeah, I know. So, that's what. Yeah, I was waiting for the theory.
I have a theory. My theory
Here
is
it comes. Yeah.
Outside work.
Oh, sunshine.
Sunshine work, beer.
Yeah.
Inside work, wine.
Yeah.
Now,
it's hard
the only thing I can think of that changes that dynamic is when you are cooking on a barbecue, which lends itself more towards beer.
Yeah.
Now, you are 99.9%.
That's outside, I would hope.
Yeah, indeed, but you are also cooking, which tends to be an inside job.
Oh, I see.
So, yes.
Do you think your metabolism noticed that, though? Hang on, he's cooking, but he's outside. What do we do with that?
Yeah, beer. That's what we do.
Beer, yeah.
That's what we do.
Okay, but
We're
why is
outside.
my body... But
the
why is
outside
my...
takes it over.
why does my body have to be so like have such a wide
Regimented?
spectrum
Yeah, I don't know.
between oh, I've done a bit of work outside, these are sliding down, no worries, and you have got no vitamin D today, you're going to chew through this like tar.
I don't know. Maybe we get Andrew Huberman on and we see,
not a bad-
and we just
Nice.
ask the question.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
It's a good question to ask someone in the know.
Yeah,
Yes.
No offense to us.
No. Well,
but for the first
maybe a
time in my
dialer dad
life-
would know the
A
answer.
dialer dad? He'd just say, have another.
Yeah,
That's
so don't
right.
worry about it. If the first one's chewing through it, that's just
Yeah.
good for your teeth.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Yes, it's Dad Pants. Richless today, unfortunately. But I do have Matt and Ben. Hello, fellas.
Hello.
Hello, Stu. Hello, Matthew.
And I'll tell you something. It doesn't matter how many times I try. It doesn't matter how many years I try and do it. I cannot wrap my head around international times. I did try, because we're doing a rare Sunday record, right? And so I reached out to Monty, our good friend Monty, a few hours ago, and I said, oh, listen, what are you doing in a couple of hours? And he didn't answer for a while. Oh, fucking hell, Jesus, mate. And I look it up. Oh, yeah, it's midnight over there. I was so sure it was early morning. And
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I thought you were saying even with knowledge of an international clock, you couldn't work it out. But
right.
I don't know. I recorded an episode for Chattering Classes podcast a few weeks ago, and it was in the US, and it was a lot of days in the lead up.
Back and forth.
So hang on. So yes, Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday my time or Wednesday your Tuesday.
Oh, Wednesday my time, Wednesday your
Tuesday
time. Yes.
afternoon. Yep. Is it No, Thursday. It'll be Thursday my day. Right. It's Wednesday afternoon where you are. It'll be Thursday morning at 9 in the. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Well, yeah, I might be breaking some exclusive news here on the Dad Pants podcast, but Monty has said like he wants to get back into doing a bit more podcasting. And we've talked about the whats and the hows and all that sort of stuff, to the point where I did up a chart of Sydney time, Edmonton time,
Yeah.
each hour, what the corresponding times are.
Yeah.
And it still didn't click with me when I sent a message through to him. And also, I'm going to have to change it again in a month or so.
Yeah. Daylight savings.
And daylight savings changes. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
No,
revolting.
I mean, you're scraping over something very important here. Is
Oh, yeah.
how does international time, how does
Oh,
daylight saving times interfere with real dad time?
yeah. Oh, look, I think scientifically real dad time is localized.
Okay, but what I mean is, if you're talking with Monty, whose real dad time has more weight?
Oh, I see.
If you're trying to negotiate that real dad time together,
Well, it depends.
Is it an AM PM type of thing? Like if you're in the AM, do you hold sway over the person
Oh, right.
that's then in the
Well,
PM?
wherever
I'm just
the sun-
asking. I don't know. That might be
wherever
one
the
way
sun
to
is
work
in
it out.
your sky is whoever.
everyone put a yardstick
Whomever
out
has the
in your
highest
yard.
sun.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you whose dad time holds sway. It's whoever's the most pass ag, and that's me. when he ducks me or gets the time wrong or doesn't answer. Yes, and I do get pass ag, and then I do feel like a dickhead afterwards. So sorry, Monty, but also
Welcome to parenting, Stu.
sort of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Feel like a dickhead after being a bit passé.
Yes.
But
well,
but also if
yes. Yeah. But I feel bad. But also, if you could not,
yeah, that's right.
That'd be great.
then that'd be good, and I
That'd
wouldn't
be
have to
great.
feel how I'm feeling.
Yeah. I think that's wrapped up all the parenting. We
That's
just sorted
it. That's all the parenting we've got for this evening. What about some dad anecdotes? Can I rip a couple off for you at the
Please.
moment? You know, I caught myself. You catch yourself doing dad things sometimes, and you just go, "That's fucking dad," don't you?
Yeah.
Twice in the recent, maybe 2 weeks, I've been inside, maybe talking to somebody or doing something. I've gone, "Stop! Wait! Shush!" And because I've been listening to birds outside, because Like, I get a sense. I just get a sense when a bird's got a bit of a panicked tone in its voice. And I go outside, bang, there's an eagle. There's an eagle swooping round, right? Twice that's happened, and it's happened before in the past. But what I mean, but, you know, before I haven't gone, stop. Let me listen. I've just been outside and, oh, that bird sounds a bit, you know. And here's the key, right? Anyone who's keen to know if there's an eagle in your area.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Often you'll hear only one kind of bird at a time. If you hear a few at a time,
Yeah.
you know they're panicking because they're just saying, everybody watch out. Eagle in the area. Right?
Right.
So-
Can I give you a dad tip? This is I don't know if this
Get a
is-
life?
If
Is
this has
that-
got legs, if it's got legs to it or not, because it was told to me by my friend Alison, who isn't a dad, she's a mum, so it's a bit confusing. And she said her daughter had texted her a message because for her whole life, when she's driving, if she sees an eagle and there's family in the car, she has to tell people there's an eagle.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And then she said her kids always hated it, but now her daughter's 24, drives in the car, points out to her boyfriend, eagle. That's all you say, eagle.
It's
And
an
so-
event, though.
Yeah, you got to do it. Anytime you see an eagle, point it out.
Yeah.
For
Because
safety.
not only... Well,
For safety. Yeah.
not only do they look majestic as fuck up there.
Yeah, amazing.
They don't beat their wings that much. They're just kind of soar. But also, like, you might see some carnage.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah, if you're with me having a conversation and I suddenly tell you to shush,
Yeah.
don't take offense immediately. I might be just listening out, you know?
Who do you identify with?
I beg yours.
Who are you identifying with? Are you do you want to see carnage, or are you worried?
right.
Are you worried for the birds where they're nervous?
Oh, I think it's more just that I want to be right. I've assumed there's an eagle out there.
Buckland, you are ticking so many dad boxes tonight. You're just very succinct.
Hey, we
very
go-
good. Sunday nights.
We go completely Axtis in the dad stakes last episode.
That's
so
true.
I'm
Are
coming in.
pretty bought in hot.
I'm coming in guns blazing.
Oh God. Yep.
Yeah, I want to be able to say I think there's an eagle out there. Go out and go. Yep, there it is, right there.
See that? None of you
excellent.
heard that, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of you are tuned in.
All right.
Can I offer? May I offer something as a father-son dad anecdote?
I didn't know we had that relationship, but yes, go on.
Well, yesterday we, as a family, put together a trampoline.
Right.
Now,
For the second time.
well, for
As a family.
correct.
Yeah.
So, currently in our home, we have 3 children living with us. One of which is nearly 16, one of which is 13, turning 14 this year, and Rose is 8, turning 9 next year. So we had a trampoline for the 2 older boys, which, you know, they're now enormous. So the trampoline didn't last the distance. So now we've got a new trampoline for Rose.
Which they're going to want to go on, though.
Correct. So we've given this one 2 to 3 years lifespan.
Okay.
What about the ground?
Well, about 6 weeks. Look,
6 weeks. Just get sink in.
Hey, I'm going to do this early this week. Throw it all out. It's a trampoline. There's lawn issues.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
stability issues.
so many. There's so many issues. But
Ground moisture.
Yeah.
What's the
Before
ground
we'd even-
moisture?
Yeah.
there are issues even before we've had the trampoline erected, and this is what I want to talk to you about because the instruction manual came out during the erection of the trampoline, and my eldest son Harvey took control, which I was very happy about. He was just sort of like, you know what, Dad, I'm just gonna take control of this. I'm really good at puzzles. Watch me go. And at one stage during the trampoline erection, which is I need to work on my language around this because I've said that 3 times.
We are very mature.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done.
It's an
So
audio
basically-
thing, so no one can see my face gurning up a storm.
Me like biting my cheek and
So we're in the
clenching my
middle of
teeth.
it, and at the same time, we both went, stop, 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 stop.
Oh,
Because
eagle.
we had 5. Yeah, that's right. We had 5 people holding up different parts of the trampoline,
right.
trying to put this into this and that into that. And then Harvey said something to his sister, whose trampoline it is. He just said, Can you please stop doing that? You're not helping." And I felt that in my soul because I would have said exactly the same thing if I was
Yeah.
in charge at that particular moment. And I thought, that's my 16-year-old son
Being a good
getting a
dad.
look into the future.
Yeah, that's right.
And sadly, his sister stormed off.
Yes. Well, no,
in
that's how it
tears.
works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in tears.
Yeah. And he said, "I wish I hadn't been passag at that time. However,
No, he didn't. He didn't say that
he
at
hasn't got
all.
to that
He was
bit
just
yet?
like, no, God, no. God, no. He was just like, well, now we just have to do this with 4 of us. It was just like, carry on. So I was both upset for my daughter, but also very proud of my son for getting into that dad mode
dad mode.
very quickly. Very, like at 15 and a bit, right? He hasn't even turned 16 yet. So, yeah. Cheers.
Well, he's seen you do an awful lot of dadding, though.
True.
Are you kind of writing up some plans about how to reinforce this trampoline for the larger kids? Like, do you have suspension ideas? Like, what's happening there? Like, or are you just going to accept that they're going to pound this poor thing into your lawn?
Yep. Well, I've already given. Like, so, sadly, the lawn is at the moment. Like this last weekend, the pool is in exceptional state. The lawn gave a great mow yesterday. The lawn's in wonderful state, and then of course the trampoline came out. So, the 2 things that I've been really working on over this last sort of 12 months, the lawn and the pool, are in wonderful condition. And now one of those is going to be basically, now thrown to the wolves. Right. And that's okay. It's okay because I've seen it before. And I know that, once this trampoline decides to, degrade and, becomes a real safety issue, that I can just put it out the front. The council will come and collect it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my lawn will grow back again.
Wow, very zen. You're a zen master.
But
I'm 2 days in, Matthew. Let's see how we go when it's when I've actually got to move it to mow around it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
now, did you put up dad resistance to getting this trampoline, like pet style?
Not as much.
Or as the pet resistance, just that's all you got. Like if you lessen any stocks of resistance to be like no
Great point.
trampoline, then I'll make some wriggle room in the pets.
Compromise.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So I feel like the importance of no pets overrides pretty much everything else. So there's, like our neighbours. We were at our neighbour's house tonight, and they've got a second dog. It's not their dog. They're doing some dog sitting. So if we ever need to, have an influx of dog at any particular stage, I can send Rose and the other kids and even my wife
Go and
across
play
the
with-
road to see multiple
play with those
dogs.
dogs. Right.
Exactly. So, so I feel like the trampoline.
It's dangerous, though. Like, sorry to interrupt, but that's dangerous. Like, because they're getting all the joy of the dog without the responsibility, surely increasing their desire for a dog.
Well, I feel like the availability of the dog being so close means that there is every time they see the dog, touch the dog, feel the dog, with the dog, there is a reduction in
They get the fill.
dog need
Right.
or dog want.
Dog bond.
Dog want, and hashtag dog want. And and
that is a theory that could backfire.
it's definitely a theory.
It's definitely a theory that I don't know. We'll see.
And so they will come home with less, on the dog want meter, we're definitely at the lower half.
Yeah.
Whereas if there was no dogs around, then there'd be talk of dogs. There'd be all of this sort of, we'd love a dog. How good
high
would having
dog
a dog
want.
be?
Yes.
High dog want. And then, obviously, trampoline does not override dog want.
No, that's true.
No, that's true.
I mean, you've all seen the graph, so, you understand what I'm talking about.
Trampoline need over dog want.
Dog want, exactly.
Trampoline need / dog want.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So that's where we are in Sullins right now.
Lovely.
Okay, but I guess when you packed up that first trampoline, shoved it out on the curb, and kind of just stood there reflecting, you surely never thought you'd be in this position again.
Stu, you'd be exactly right. Never thought I would be. Never thought I'd be putting up another trampoline. Never thought it'd be bigger than the last one.
Yeah.
But both of those things are now true. So just sort of got to work with it, I suppose. Hey, at least we don't have a dog.
No, that's right. And things. It's Murphy's Law. Things will always work out this way. We had a trampoline. It was at our previous house. We dragged it all the way to this house, set it up. Do you think they got in at once while it was here? No. So after however many months, it was dismantled and thrown out.
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks, I wish we still had the trampoline.
Yes.
Get out of here.
Your trampoline want was so low. And exactly. It's a removal.
That's right. It's always, whatever you don't have, that's what we want.
Yep.
Matt, I'm going to ask you about a dad anecdote in a sec, but one very quick thing. I was thinking the other night, we need a name for the feeling a dad will get when there's some problem, often a tech problem, and you've got a solution in mind about how to fix it, and you can't explain why you know that you're right, but you're right. And then there's an argument about why you can't explain why you're right, and why can't you just trust my idea? And eventually, you try the idea, and it works, and you need to be a little bit smug about that.
Hang on. So
but not too smug.
No, can't be too smug.
Because you were smart enough to come up with the idea, but not smart enough to come up with a feasible explanation about why you were so confident. Right. So that's the kind of feeling. It's a very specific feeling, but I feel it's probably a feeling dads have had often. Sorry, Ben. What were you going to say, friend?
No, well, I was trying. There's so much to go into that. Like it's like the cousin of Schadenfreude. It's like, but I don't know German well enough to sort of to attach something to that. So
can we just call it? Can we just call it? Can we just call it Dadenfreude?
Dadenfreude.
Dadenfreude.
There we
That's
go.
good.
Done.
Excellent.
That's
Yes, we
the
can.
feeling.
Why
Yes.
can't we just do that? That's great.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. But also, there's a bit of just trust me. Why can't you just trust me? Why can't you explain it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just let me cook, as the young folks say.
Let me see if it works. And it probably will work. And it did work.
Yeah. Matt?
Yes, I wanted to just pass on a short story. I'm going to summarize a Year 7 short story. They had 10 minutes to write a short story, and one of my students wrote a story about having a horrible feeling that a monster was in their room with big glowing red eyes and a big, scary, booming voice.
Right.
And the twist of the story was it was, in fact, their father waking her up at 4 o'clock in the morning for a 10 o'clock flight.
So I reckon this student's done. Yeah, they've done their research on you.
Yeah,
They're
they
just
know
pandering.
what they want.
They're pandering.
So it's just like, fantastic. I just wrote, Yes, this is a very familiar situation. I've got further questions about how far you had to travel to the airport.
Were you flying out of Canberra?
Were you driving to Sydney? Were you like, so 4 a.m. for a 10 a.m. flight.
What was the faff factor of the rest of the family?
Yep, that's the thing. That's what all the shouting was about. Was why aren't you up yet? You were meant to be
Faff
up.
factor.
Yeah, faffing around.
It's a important element of your real dad time calculations.
So I'll be seeing that student tomorrow. I'll have follow-up questions about faff factors and just how far away from the airport they actually were.
That's right. And also, if we could, you spoke about Alison before, who has connections to the book world, does she not?
Yes.
This can run and run, surely, this story. We can get this published.
Run and run. Just run and run.
Dear, but whose point of view is it? Like, that's going to be hard to keep our dad producer fingers off a story from the child's point of view of like, why is this parent so crazy? And we'll be saying, no, we need you to rewrite it.
Well, it's a three. It's a three.
I got you. Different points of view. Same story.
Different points of view, same story. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the student can write one. We'll write one, and then the mother can write one. I don't know.
Is it wife's point of view? Is it?
Or is it
the
customs point of view?
The taxi driver.
Customs point of view. Here's another dad. Here's another dad.
Yeah, the customs man with a wheelchair.
Yep. Well, yep.
Fantastic.
Yep. All right. Good. Great. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple. Matt, you've got a couple of things, or it might be the same thing. I can't remember now. See, told you that you wanted to talk about. But before I do, can I just put something to you from a friend of the show, Paul? Paul says this: saw a post about questions for the pants panel, and while not a question, I must express my appreciation for the recent RDT chat. Okay. I'm a firm adherent to sensible timekeeping when any form of travel is involved, so appreciate the discussion. I have an early morning flight this weekend to Naples, 6:40 a.m. departure from Gatwick, around a 45-minute trip, so I've been busy mentally preparing the family, and so far have only been told to be quiet about it twice by my wife, so that's a plus.
That's good. That's pretty good.
Anyway, keep fighting the good fight. So this is something that talks to more than just us lunatics.
Yeah, international, exactly.
Yeah. IRDT.
Now, I do have a follow-up.
Yeah.
Paul says,
yeah, how'd you go?
On the flight now, and had a bit of RDT panic when we left the house 5 minutes after schedule. The long stay parking bus didn't come, and we made the gate within 8 minutes to go.
Oh, that is tight. A 6:40 a.m. flight is pretty
early.
Difficult to manage either way, whatever you do.
But also, I think there are people listening to this that think we're just waffling on about RDT for the sake of, hearing our own voices and gas bagging on.
Yeah.
This is real fucking shit we're talking. These are people's
Someone
lives
needs
we're
to
talking
worry
about
this
here.
stuff. Otherwise, people will be missing their flights left, right, and centre.
This is real.
Yeah.
It's consequences, flow-on effects.
Yeah.
If we left
It's all
people
real.
outside of dads to organise people to get to flights, then
Here's
the entire airline structure would crumble.
It's built on RDT.
Yeah.
Correct.
I've got a question for you. At what point, how long after, just imagine, this is a horrible hypothetical for you all, so brace yourselves. Imagine your family have faffed around too much and you've managed to miss a flight. I know it's impossible because we're always there 4 hours before. Anyway, no.
Turn this call off right now.
This is a monthly podcast. You should have said this at the end.
I know, I'm sorry.
For us to think about for next time.
I'm sorry. I should have had a nurse. I should have had nurses on standby, talk you down, little puppets. No, my question is, how long after simmering or exploding would you feel Schadenfreude over that one?
Oh, right. So
because I don't know, you wouldn't immediately feel that way because you'd be so mental.
That's
it would be every other flight for the rest of your life, wouldn't it?
That's right. Well, there's a term. that's
I don't know.
the term. I said like the moral high ground that dads feel. Now
Yeah.
we've got a term for it. Dadenfreude, right?
I just
And
like that. I like that both of you just refuse to believe the hypothetical situation even existed. No.
You're a friend. There's more prep required before
Yeah.
hurling that
I'm
in a
sorry,
dad's
it came
face.
into my head, and you look. This is a safe space, and it came into my head, and I had to carry that.
Did you not hear what I just told you?
I-
What happened to Paul?
I had to carry it myself.
8 minutes.
8 minutes. I know. Yeah. I
right,
wonder if
yeah.
he said. I wonder if he said if you had left when we said we would have got here with 13 minutes, and that would have been fine.
To answer your question, it would depend
Yeah.
whether my family agreed
Yes.
that what they were doing classified as faffing,
Right.
or in their minds, whatever.
Right.
Was
Victims of
necessary.
circumstance. Yeah. The
They
bus
may
didn't
feel it's
come.
necessary.
The bus didn't come. The long-term parking bus didn't come. It's not our fault.
Oh, that's fine. But your scenario was if your family had been faffing,
Yeah.
some real Scotch Garden couch kind of gear, right?
Yeah.
So,
I forgot my something.
Yeah. And we have to turn around. We're already on the road. We've
Yeah.
got to go back and get my Kindle.
that's right. Well, my charger. Yeah.
Look at Wiggins. Oh, this is the worst. I've just
How am I
completely
gonna-
ruined his night.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to read by the pool if I don't have it.
That's right. Yeah.
So, I mean, holiday rules.
It's a hypothetical, Wiggins. It's a hypothetical. You're in a safe space.
Look, I understand
Calm
that,
blue
but
ocean. Calm blue ocean.
I have already thought of where I would be.
Yeah.
in
on the
that-
plane. You'd be on the plane and they wouldn't.
Look,
You'd be on a plane in a different direction. You'd just scarp it.
I feel better now. I feel better.
All right. We love our families.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. But, there's
without a
anxiety
doubt.
that comes with being a dad and trying to get somewhere, particularly airport base. We've said it enough.
Because there are some people that would say Paul got there with 8 minutes to spare. Good on him. Easy. What's the issue? And you're like, no, that's, I don't know. It would have taken him the 45-minute flight
That
to
person,
decompress.
Exactly.
if that person said that around me in an airport, I would glass them.
With that,
Yeah.
let's go to a break and calm down before we move on to the next section.
I'm very sorry, gentlemen.
No, it's okay. We're all friends. It's okay.
So you both understand when I tell you where I was in that thought process is that I was at the bottom of Carryong Hill and we'd just gone through the lights up the hill.
Yeah.
So I was going to be like, okay, you're telling me we need to turn around and I cannot turn around until we get to the top of
That's
the
right,
hill.
yes. And then
I
go
have
all
to
the way
come
back,
down and
and
around
then
all the way
back
down
up
the hill
again.
and then back. So we've probably just added 40 minutes to our trip, which isn't the full buffer, but it's eating into the
Yeah,
buffer.
it's a big bite of that buffer.
We've just had a massive bite of the buffer.
Yeah, because, but
For
also,
what?
but also, like,
He's
this
already
won't-
angry. Wiggins, hypothetical. Breathe.
This won't mean
You're going to leave. You're going to finish this chat and go in there and go, fucking 40 minutes.
But also, like, there is an element to real dad time where the fuck ups happen.
Yes.
How far away from your house they happen
Yeah.
on the travel, right? So you may have buffered an hour, great, you've lost 40 minutes, but now you're tense because you're so close to your house
Buffer.
that there's so much space for 20 minutes worth of fuckery to happen.
Yeah.
But also, the fuckery that I've built in is external fuckery, not internal fuckery. And internal fuckery is all family,
Yes?
Yeah.
all family
I see.
related, right? So external fucky is
Yeah. How do you control
traffic,
accidents?
like
traffic,
all of
yeah.
the accidents, all
Yeah.
of that sort of stuff.
So we're breaking that
Internal
stuff
fuckery is-
down.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but you have to.
No, it's not. I've built in zero internal fuckery into the travel time.
That's right. Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's all external.
That's
got
reckless.
I
That's
feel
reckless
like
on
I've
your
got
part.
control over the internal fuckery.
Oh,
up to a
really?
point.
You don't have
Right.
control.
I don't have
How
control.
do you think you have control?
I
have
can
no control.
massage. I can massage that.
You can
because I've
try.
built- but I've also. Well, I can. You're right. I've built in enough of. See, this is the extra.
You're holding
buffer
on too tight.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Hey, just because you can ring your family up and yell at them over the phone to switch off like the air conditioning while
Yeah.
you're in your control center
Yeah.
doesn't mean that if you're traveling anywhere that your orders are going to get followed.
We go, I don't want to disparage you, but I kind of feel like I'm 18 years old and some guys at the bar telling me just how much they can drink to try and impress me. And I'm like, that's great, but I really don't believe him. This is where we're at now in our mid-40s, where you're trying to do the same,
Say
telling
how
me
much your
you can
family listens
control
to you.
yeah, how much you can control the interior fuckery of your family.
That's right.
And I'm like, oh, okay, mate, yep, yeah, oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Good
Yeah,
on
sure.
you.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go back and talk to my friends
Oh,
now.
yeah. That's right. I got to go back to the bar. Yeah, exactly.
So, mate, how much time do you
Jesus.
factor in for internal faffery versus external faffery?
Yes.
And you're going, oh, mate, there's no internal faffery. Don't worry about that. All right, break for real this time.
Okay.
And we're back. Now, we did mention this previously, but Matt, you mentioned, well, two things. Laundering stress was one of them,
Yep.
and former dad insurance. What do you want to run with here? Are they similar vein or not?
No, very different. I want to go over laundering stress because I'm sure it's something we all do, and it comes from teaching my eldest daughter how to drive,
Yes.
and the fact that I think I'm surprised myself with how calm I am in the car. She can be quite anxious in general, but obviously when you learn to drive, it's pretty anxiety inducing. But like the first time you get in the car with your child when they're driving, you just realize like this could go very badly, very, very quickly. How, yep, how much could it cost? Like on a very minor fact in terms of safety, but it could cost you a lot of money if you don't turn in time. Do you know how to? No, you don't have no idea what I mean when I say turn the wheel this much or all of that stuff. But I think I'm quite calm, but she can get pretty anxious. But what I wanted to point out was how we launder our rage sometimes. And when I was in the car with her, we went on a driving lesson, and there were a couple of times where she did not do what I asked her to do, or was going too fast, or something like that. And I was like, whoa, don't do that. Or just like things that when they encounter it that she hadn't encountered before, like where you go around a roundabout and the one lane splits into two lanes and then goes back into one lane.
Right.
And so then she's in the right-hand lane, and then a car wants to overtake going around her, but she doesn't know that. So she sort of drifts into the other lane, and then that car sort of zooms by just in time. So she doesn't. So you can't get angry at her there because we haven't experienced that before. I need to explain to her, you have to stay in your lane on a roundabout. Do not change lane. Anyway, so that happened, and I was like, okay, that's fine. We haven't done this before. That's good. And then we came to another roundabout where you could only turn left or right. And I said, you have to turn right. And she said, well, do I go straight? And I said, no, you don't go straight. You'll run to the trees. What are you talking about? She was like, so where do I go? And I was like, you're going right. And then she immediately turned into oncoming traffic into the wrong lane. There were no cars, but she immediately did that. And I was like, whoa, no. We go.
It's a
She
roundabout.
said, you told me we had to go right. And I was like, okay, I understand that in your mind that didn't make sense. That's fine. But we'll just go right. Anyway, so we did that.
Normal roundabout rules apply.
Yeah, but again, you're driving and you're stressed. I, to her, going straight meant you just go straight and then follow
Through
to the
that.
right.
That's right.
The-
And this is
From
someone
point
who's
A to point B.
This is someone who's tied their pants to a steering wheel at a roundabout talking here. So,
That's true, yes.
so you know,
We've all
I
made
feel
mistakes.
quite a little hypocritical, but go on.
Yeah, so I felt like I handled that quite well. And I said, that's fine. Like, inside I was like, wow, what the hell? That was like crazy. So same night, later that night, I come out, it's 10:15, and it was her sister's birthday the next day. We'll have a waffles for breakfast the next day for her sister's birthday. I come out 10:15, and my eldest daughter, is eating all of the strawberries at 10:15.
Right.
And my response is, "What the hell are you doing? Eating the strawberries before?" And I'm just like shouting at her, and she's like, "Well, I didn't know." And I was like, "What is 10:15 at night? What is wrong with you?" And she's just like,
Is this no strawberry eating time?
pretty much. And so she's like freaking out, and she's like, "Oh no, it's no big deal." And she like goes into a room, and I
Yes.
was like, "Yeah, that was clearly not about strawberries."
No,
That was
it's the old air bubble in the wallpaper metaphor, right?
yeah.
You realised that you needed to smooth the air bubble down at the roundabout, but it's popped up somewhere else, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Had to just hold it in, and then 10:15 that night, just
Yeah.
eat all the strawberries then, shove them in your mouth.
Oh, you're going to eat strawberries, are you? Have 6 punnets.
These are for you.
And so
That is
Wow.
dadding back in the day, right, though?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've tried a little bit of something. Have all of it.
have all of it. Got to be selfish, but she's like, "I didn't know they were for." Anyway, so she's completely in the right. Dad's a psycho all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, yeah."
I don't know
that's-
that there's...
How was that next 15 minutes?
Pretty easy, because I just went in and I said that wasn't about strawberries. That was about driving today, where I had to like contain that. She was like,
Yes.
"Oh, okay. I thought you'd gone mad." And I was like, "Yes, I understand."
Yeah.
Makes
But
sense.
also,
That makes sense
did
from your
she-
point of view.
Was she not, like, thinking that you were taking the roundabout business particularly coolly, or did that just...
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think so. I think she just was like, "Okay, well, that's how it works. Don't want to do that again." But the best thing is, like, she's quite anxious. She's a lot better now, as everyone is. But she had like a proper lesson a couple of days later, and the instructor said, she's relayed this to me, like, "Oh, I had a lesson." He said, "Oh, you're very anxious when you're driving. Who do you drive normally with?" And I said, "Oh, my dad." And he said, "Is he very nervous? Does he make you feel anxious when you're driving?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, kind of." And I was like, "Bullshit." Excuse me, young lady. I don't think so. Like, it's just like, oh, what? She's anxious because she's anxious, not because I'm sitting there. Like, a few times she's like, "Are you holding on to the thing?" And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
My rectum is exceptionally tight, but I'm
The
not
first
actually
few,
holding
the first
on to
few
it.
times it's like that, but after a while you're like, "All right, we're going around the same place over and over. Let's get
What's
out on
that
the
rubber
road."
band snapping sound?
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
just my sphincter.
Yeah.
Never mind that.
I just chewed through an actual nail.
We're going to
a
have
bit
to
of
get
it.
this reupholstered.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is a bit weird as a parent
Yeah.
to go 16 years as a parent not having probably any situation where your life's threatened in the
Yeah.
course of your parenting duties.
Yeah,
To suddenly being put in a car with your child who doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah. And it's
Anything can happen out
Yeah.
on the roads.
Yeah.
Anything.
And the thing is, like, it could rain, like, you're not used to that. The real thing is when you get out on the road and you're like, feel like just having a megaphone just to cars behind her. Like, can you just calm down?
Oh,
They're learning to drive. What is wrong with you? Like, all of that stuff.
yeah. For years, I've always had the idea of a car horn you can type messages into.
Right.
That's exactly what just went into my head then.
Yeah.
Can I type while I'm in the
Well,
passenger
I'm
seat
happy
to
to-
the person behind us?
I'm happy to make it a Dad Pants product.
Yeah.
I'm happy to share that, but just anything from it's not getting any greener to I think you need to back up or there's
Yeah.
going to be issues here. That kind
Remember
of thing.
learning to drive? Question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I never understand. Is like they had to learn to drive. Like,
Yeah.
I know what'll help. Making them feel pressure.
Yeah. Honking.
Because-
That'll be
Honking would be great.
Because I made myself late and now I'm in a rush.
Yeah. Well, real dad time. This is,
Yeah, real
yes.
dad time,
James,
exactly.
RDT.
Affecting our
Maybe that
learner
just needs to be
drivers
the-
yes, that's right.
across the nation. I have the pretty much the opposite situation in that you say that your daughter is pretty anxious. My son, who's 16 and learning to drive, couldn't be more casual and calm,
Yeah.
and I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate
right.
it so much. And I was probably the same, which is probably part of why I hate it. But also, like,
That's what I'm most concerned about.
you can't say anything because it's just like, oh, no, it's all right. It's all right. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
Didn't crash. Fine.
Fuck. Yeah, we didn't crash.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That means you'll never crash, doesn't it?
Yeah, we had 8 minutes.
Yeah. and
Yeah.
and the other day, talking about dadding, I said, right, you need to get your hours up. Take me to Bunnings. And so he drove me to Bunnings. We got our bits and bobs. Here's the annoying part. Oh, fuck, I forgot. I can't even believe I haven't said this yet.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a bit of ag pipe to go from like a drain that comes down from the gutter and then into a drain that's next to the driveway for when it rains on the garage roof. There's just a bit missing. I wanted to stick some ag pipe in there so that it would flow nicely from the gutter down into the driveway pipe, right? So we get there and I go, all right, well, I'll get the smaller one so I can fit it inside and that'll be fine. He goes, you should get the bigger one so it'll go over the top of the pipe. You fit it over the top.
Oh, no. He was right,
And then-
too, wasn't he?
Fucking A, he was right.
Yeah.
I got
yeah.
the smaller one and it just goes underneath.
Yeah.
It doesn't even go through that pipe.
So what happened? Did he have like a Sonnenschreuder? Is that what it's called?
No, I think he was just happy that I said, hey mate, you know that pipe? You were right.
Yep.
I got it wrong, you were
Well
right.
done.
Yeah, a lot of power in that. A lot of power.
Well done.
A lot
Yeah.
of goodness in that.
That's right. And like you can't rub something in someone's face who's coming straight up to you and going, yeah, I admit it. I was daft. Anyway, so coming out of Bunnings, for whatever reason, and this happens with learner drivers who
Yeah.
they just didn't happen to look one way, looked one way, didn't look the other way, started burning out. I went, no. There was a car coming. And his instinct wasn't to jam the brakes on. His instinct was to
Accelerate.
floor it.
Yeah. yeah. That's the thing. That's what happens
With
when
it,
you learn
but-
to drive.
But I was watching his head.
Yeah.
He did that before looking.
Yeah. It's panic.
Yeah.
It's the panic and the foot.
go.
You got to brake, but my foot's over the accelerator. So here we
flies.
go. We're going. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's
And,
interesting.
you know-
All right. So what I need to remember is one of the first instructions to give to my son before we get into the car is when you think you need to put your foot down, change pedals.
Brake is default.
Yeah, brake is default.
Go the middle. Go as hard as you can in the middle.
But you know what's just occurred to me then? I was going, oh, fuck, there's really a situation where we need a dial-a-dad. There is a dial-a-dad for teaching your kids.
That's right.
There's instructors.
There's instructors,
The original
yes.
dial-a-dads.
Yeah,
For,
yeah.
for teaching your kids to drive.
I salute them. I salute the Dialer Dad's driving instructors.
Yeah. So, yeah, use them.
Yeah.
They've got brakes on their side in their fancy
Absolutely.
cars.
The hard bit is
That
in the
is-
school holidays where they were just. I went to look up. I'll book you in. The next available lesson's
7
4
years.
weeks.
Yeah.
It sucks, but now it's like
That's right.
that lesson good. Next one, next week, whatever.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
How much does it
well,
cost?
Maybe we
Who
can get a
cares?
sponsorship there.
I'm happy to.
It's your fucking life. Pay overs if you have to.
yeah.
But buddy, mate, get them as birthday presents. Get them as Christmas presents. Get
Yeah.
them at,
Now
as
you
Give him a
whatever.
pack. Give him a pack of 10.
That's,
a pack,
that's
exactly.
great dad thinking. Mm-hmm. Particularly in your household where Santa's still a thing. Santa gets some future
Elf on the
driving
shelf driving instructors.
That's
right. Elf on the shelf drivers and driving instructors. That's magic.
Just Rose is like 9 and she's got, what do you have for Christmas? 100
8
driving lessons when I turned 16. It's great.
Oh yes.
It's great. It's really when like even like she works like 200 meters from our house and often, if it's at night, she'll say, "Can I drive home from work?" And I drive the car up there, and she drives it back. It's literally 30 seconds. But even though it's the last time we're in the car, when we got back to the house, I was just like, "You're heaps better at driving." Even that, just relaxed. Once they start like talking, because the first few times they drive,
Yes.
no talking.
Yeah.
Is this okay? And
it's
she
10
used to
and 2.
say, should I just tell me when to go? I was like, no. It's not, I tell you when to go.
Yeah.
You go when you think it's go. I'll tell you to stop.
The lesson is you learning to make judgments.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, Wiggo, you said 10 and 2 on the steering wheel. It's not 10 and 2 in the steering wheel anymore. It's not even that.
No, it's just like, just hold the steering wheel.
It's 9 and 3, because the 10 and 2, if the airbags go off, then, I don't know.
Right. But
All no issues.
They'll start arguing with you. They'll go, Dad, it's not 10 and 2. You don't know what
Right.
you're talking about.
that's good.
Yeah.
Tell me what's right. Tell me what's right. At least you've read the fucking manual then.
Yeah.
Like, if you know what's going on.
Yeah.
I haven't, so you tell me.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I've been driving for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But lessons, not only are they exceptionally condensed amount of learning in a very small period of time, but they actually count for that as well.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a 20-hour course you can do as an L plater
Yeah.
So
that takes 5 hours, and you get 20 hours.
Yeah. Well, my oldest will be doing that in a week or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's the way to go.
Yeah, because there's a lot of
did it.
stuff, especially
Awesome.
you got to pay someone, because so much when they learn to drive, you're like, I don't know how to explain how much you put your foot on the accelerator. I don't know how to tell you, like, just the stuff that is when you've been driving, you just don't even think about.
Yeah.
So you're like,
So-
I don't know. How do you
so
put the
when
key in the ignition? No, you don't know how
When
to
did
do
you
that.
guys start? So, Stu, you and I, we got our licenses pretty much straight away. Mm-hmm. Matty, you held off for a while.
Well, I started to drive, and then I nearly crashed into a telegraph pole with my dad.
Right.
And then that put the end to me learning to drive for 10 years.
I don't think I knew that.
No, I didn't know that either.
It was like the third or fourth drive we went on, and I guess what I did? I panicked and accelerated up the gutter.
Fuck, right.
And Dad grabbed the wheel, and then somehow we missed the telegraph pole.
Wow, how have we never heard that?
I guess it was just like that was it.
Too much? Yeah,
And
oh,
then
right.
then that was that was it. And then he was like, "Do you want to keep driving?" I was like, "Nah." And then I never really drove for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly when you said that about accelerating. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're going up the gutter. Whoa, I better accelerate like a freak." Like you just panic.
That's all right. Well, Dukes' Hazard has taught me anything.
That's right.
It's that you can boost your way out of situations.
That's right. I just tried to go over it.
If you've dived into the car seat, then you can basically accelerate through anything.
Yeah, exactly right. Yes.
But I learned to drive at the local school car park. That's like literally.
It's
Mum
hard
took
to
me there.
find. I don't know. Modern
space.
design is quite hard to find specific place. The best part we found was like her friend was like, "There's a new estate with no houses and it's all fresh roads and that
Industrial
was just the
areas
best,
on the
yeah.
weekend.
Yeah,
On the
Just
weekend is the way
delightful.
to go. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. The instructor teaches them how not to drive hugging the gutter because that's what they all do. That L plater right on the left hand side because they think they're going to crash. Yeah,
Yeah.
and his name's Babar. What can go wrong?
His name's what?
Babar.
Oh, Baba. Oh, right. Oh, well, yeah.
Arthur Babar.
After Babar. Yeah.
All right. Well, on that reference, we probably should end it for this month. All the best to you. Look, send us in some examples of Dad and Freuder you might have experienced or seen, we'd like to hear it.
Yep.
Also, have you nearly died teaching your kid to drive? We want to hear about that as well. And
Have you nearly killed someone?
yeah,
Being the one being taught to drive.
yeah, seen any eagles? I want to hear
Yeah.
about that.
Point them out to everyone in your family.
Tell me where. Tell me what happened. I want to know.
Have you
about
put
it.
something together as a family?
Yeah.
Has it torn you apart?
Farewell all.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
This is an Angry Chimp podcast.
What the hell are you doing? Eating the strawberries?